Meet the Bumblebee II from Neat Microphones. It's one of the best USB condenser mics that you can buy. This video is going to show you why. Hello everyone, I'm Mikhail Casanova. Welcome back to another video. Before we kick this video off, I want to give a huge shout out to Neat Microphones for sending over the Bumblebee II. I'm really excited to be diving into this review because I've been using this for a couple days. I've used it on several streams and you guys may have noticed that the audio clarity was pretty crisp. It's really up there, and especially for a microphone that's around this size. I mean, let's be honest, this is a fairly small microphone, and to think that it actually produces such great quality sound, it's almost unheard of. And that's exactly what this does. And in this video, we're going to be diving into it. We're going to be unboxing a setup. I'm going to talk to you about the different modes on it and how it sounds on streams, podcasts, and so much more. So if you want to pick up this microphone, I'll leave links down in the description below so you can pick it up. So I wanted to do a sound test so you guys could hear what it sounds like when I don't have my air conditioner on, or I don't have NVIDIA broadcast or NVIDIA noise removal turned on, so you can hear what the microphone sounds like in its truest form. Like, this is what it sounds like straight out of the box. No tweaking, no testing or additional, doo-ha or doo-wikis or anything like that. This is exactly what it sounds like, and I think it sounds pretty good. I mean, you can hear my fan on my computer, which is blasting because I got a pretty big ATX case, but you're going to hear the fan. If I stop talking, you can hear the humming in the background, which is the fan on my computer. You can probably hear the overhead fan. But other than that, that is what you're going to be hearing. And I just felt like, you needed to hear what it sounds like. I think when it comes to reviews, the more honest we are as reviewers, or completely transparent, which I always think is the best way to go, then that's what helps people understand what they should get and what they should purchase. And this is what it sounds like by itself. So I'm going to do a mic test here. You're probably curious as to what this sounds like when it's in a curated environment as well as in a very noisy environment. I want you to be able to hear the difference because I think that that's something that is going to be a make or break for a lot of people. Now, for me, I have a curated environment. I also have an air conditioner on. You probably can't hear it because I'm utilizing several things. I mean, I use XSplit to record all my videos, and I also use NVIDIA broadcast to cancel out all the background noise. So there's that. But if we were to turn that off and you were to just hear the microphone as it is without any type of additional, noise suppression or noise gate, turned on, this is what it sounds like. You're going to hear the air conditioner, you're going to hear my voice, you're going to hear the fans of the room up and below, and you're going to hear me breathing, moving around, and all that jazz. This is what it's going to sound like. But if I turn that on, you don't hear any of that again. And this is what it sounds like when it's, activated with NVIDIA broadcast and in a curated environment. Still sounds good. Now, do keep in mind, if you're going to use NVIDIA broadcast, you're going to need to have an NVIDIA RTX, say at least a 20 series card, or at the very bare minimum, or if you got a 30 series card, it'll run like butter. But that right there will allow you to cut out a lot of your noise. And also, if you don't want to use NVIDIA broadcast, if you've got XSplit as your recording software, then just go to audio effects and turn on NVIDIA noise removal, and boom, you're good. But this is what it sounds like. So I wanted to let you guys know what it sounds like. Now, one of the things you might be curious about is, how does it sound like with distance? Like, does it need to be right up on you, or does it need to be a little distance from you? And honestly, because of this being a condenser microphone, it can pick up generally anywhere. So you don't have to have it directly upon you. But if you are using this to record your musical instruments, or you're using this for singing or vocal or voiceover, you typically do want to have it closer to your mic. Just be a little bit more conscientious of the fact that, taper down your volume because, you don't want to blow somebody's ear out. But yeah, because it's a condenser microphone, it's very fine for it to be very up close on you if you want it to be. Other than that, you don't necessarily have to have it up on you. And speaking of that, if you're curious about the pickup pattern, it is a cardioid pickup, so it's going to pick up directly in the front with sound rejection on the sides and the back as well as the tops. So if you're wondering, how do I know that it's picking up my voice? you always want to make sure that you are talking into the part that has the LED knob. So like right here. And depending on what mode you want to control this at, it's got 3 different modes. So I'm in mode 2, which controls the gain that goes into the microphone. I can turn the knob down, and there is no visual indicator as to like how much gain or how little gain. You need to look at the software that you're using for your mixing or your EQ to be able to see where the levels are. But that's mode 2. Mode 3 allows you to have a balance between the return signal and the output signal that you're giving to your recording software, as well as having mic monitoring going on if you want to plug your headphones directly into it. And also with the first mode, which you'll be able to notice has the yellow lighting, that mode allows you to control the volume that's on your computer. If you were to turn it, then the volume on the computer would go up and down, because this mode is going to be if you're exclusively using mic monitoring or you're plugging in your headset into the bottom of the microphone to be able to capture it. Now, if you're having difficulty remembering what the modes are, all you really need to do is to look at the color of it, because it'll shift between yellow, blue, and green. Now, if it's in yellow, it's in mode 1. This is the default setting, which allows you to have the volume control if you're going to do mic monitoring or listening to audio directly through the microphone. Mode 2, if you press it in, this is what controls the gain, and it will be blue. And then mode 3 will be green. And with this, you have a balance between your mic levels and mic monitoring, and a little extra there. But for me, typically, I keep it on mode 2, which is blue, and I just like having control of my gain physically on the device versus, having it not be on it. Like I just like having, manual controls of my gain. And of course, you're going to be hearing me talking around the side because I want to visually show this to you. I'll have B-roll footage to show it as well. You also have a mute button right here. If you press and the minute that I press it off, you can hear me again. So literally, there's only 2 buttons physically on this microphone, which I really like, in comparison to something like the Blue Yeti, where you've got, you got the dial and you've got the buttons, but it's so bulky. This is so lightweight and still gives you that same quality audio output for your recording. So this right here, I really like it. Plus, if you put it on a boom arm, I can either have it sitting like this where it's directly in front of me, or if I wanted to have it upside down like this, I could literally do so and it's fine. Like really, if I had an overhead, or if I wanted to sit it like here, or if I wanted to pull it over my desk, I could literally sit it either way I wanted and it would be fine. Now we're going to do a test where it comes to plosives, because that's something I think is really, really important. A lot of people, plosives are very important, especially if you're like me. I have a little bit of a lisp as well as speech impediment. So you may hear, my P's and S and T's sound a little bit, harsher or a little different than most. So we're going to do that right now. We're going to test the plosives. So Peter picked the pipe pickle, prancing, playfully, periodically, personally, purposefully, powerfully, poignantly. Yeah, I got nothing else. That's your plosives right there. Okay, you also might be wondering, how easy is it to put this on a boom arm? It's really simple. Really, there's a screw on the bottom of the base that you need to just unscrew off the bottom, and make sure that you have the adapter. There is an adapter that comes in here, and literally all you need to do is just put this on your boom arm from there if you want to have like more motion, or if you put it on your desk. It does have a very sturdiness to it, so if you're worried about resistance from like banging on the desk, and if that reverb is going to come through, because of the way the stand is made, it's literally going to have a little bit of a buffer because of this right here. It's also not only an anti-slide, but it keeps a lot of the reverberation from going all directly up into the microphone itself, because the metal itself doesn't even touch the ground. It's just this material here, so just definitely keep that in mind. Me personally, I just like to put these on boom arms because I feel like that's the best for me. It works out best for me just to have them on a boom arm. So if I'm sitting back and I want to record, or if I'm a little closer, if I'm doing a podcast, especially with something like this, you want to get the logo and the look of this in the shot. And I just like this. But if I don't need to utilize an XLR setup for my recording, then this is the mic I'm going to be using. I can use this literally for podcasts, for streaming, for personal recordings, for YouTube videos, music, because I do sing as well, and also for, just general conversations. And what's cool is this works with both platforms. So if you use Windows or if you use Mac, you can just plug it in and go from there. It even works with Chromebooks, which, Chrome OS is not exactly particularly picky, but, knowing that it works with that, it works with Linux as well. No issues whatsoever. It's got the most professional and sleek look. It's just blends well into my workspace. This is the mic. The Bumblebee II is the mic that I'm going to be going with. This is hands down the most beautiful, most rich sounding, most ergonomic USB microphone on the market.
That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
You cannot go wrong with this. And that's it. That's the review for the Bumblebee II from Neat Microphones. Again, I want to give a special shout out to Neat Microphones for sending this over to me for review purposes and, my personal usages. And I just got to say, I honestly love this thing. This is such a beautiful microphone. I don't have any downsides to say about it. I love the build quality. It's not cheap feeling. It's got heft to it. It's sleek. This is such a gorgeous mic, and the sound quality of this compared to every other USB microphone that I've reviewed this year, the sound quality on this, man, it just puts everything else to shame. Honestly, if you had to choose between this or picking up a Blue microphone, which is the most common one, a lot of people, the Blue Yeti is the one that a lot of people will pick up. I'm gonna say go with the Bumblebee II just because smaller, it's less footprint. It's got great audio that actually exceeds the Blue Yeti. And it just look at this. I'm allergic to bees, but this is something I'm not allergic to, and it's quality. So with that being said, what do you guys think of the Bumblebee II? Did you like the audio tests on it? Do you like the way it's sounding right here? Did you like the review or anything that stood out for you in this review at all? Let us know in the comment section down below. And if you want to pick this up, I will have affiliate links down below so you can go ahead and get it. And with that being said, hey, I'll catch you guys in the next one. If you want to support the content that we do, we got channel memberships, we got Patreon, we got so much stuff. Merch over on Teespring and TeePublic. Every little bit helps. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.